All right, back at you. This is Jim Daniels, the human button pusher. We're doing this little prop account tournament competition. 15 trades, 6,000 today. 3 trades, 3,100 loss. Totally my fault if you watch the other videos. This should only be 1,500. I let them all ride. This human button pusher was an idiot. I let my ego get in the way and let them ride. Still, though, got a 78.9% success ratio. There's nothing wrong with that. Most people would have already stopped for the day at $1,000. That's a lot of money. $5,000 a week times 52 weeks is not a bad income. I'm in this tournament, so I'm going to trade a little bit more aggressively, trying to make the top 50. I know I won't do it because I did not realize that people arbitrage trade, and that seems like cheating to me, so I'm not going to do that. I won't do any more of those tournaments now that I know how that they overnight from 6 p.m. on a Friday, on a Sunday night at the market open for futures to the official open the next morning in New York. Guys caught every point of the move. And so the top 3-4 people on the leaderboard had $37,000 at the first opening of the first day of the competition. They only had 35,000. I did 3,800, but I was sitting there, trading. I was trading it myself, just like trading it like you would normal trade. I thought that's how it works, but that's not how it works. You got professional people out there that aren't professional traders doing like we're doing right now. These people are professionals at setting up VPNs, spoofing MAC addresses, and trying to win as many tournaments as they can. It's a whole subculture. You can just go on your favorite AI. Mine is Grok 4, by far the best in my opinion overall, and especially because it's the only one that can attaches into X in real time for sentiment. All right, this is a flat top, flat bottom setup, 1020. I'm going to go ahead and put my orders up here. I'm going to want to buy, stop there, and I'm going to want to sell a stop here. And let's see what happens. We're going to be on the button, but if we get one way, all right, it triggered down. Let's see if we get continuation. No momentum, so I might be dead in the water here. But let's just see if we get a little more continuation down there. It just wicked me, like they saw my order get out there. Uh-oh. Let's see what happened here. Oh, look, it wicked me the other way. Y'all see that? What in the world? All right, I'm getting out because that's weird. That's weird. You saw that? How did it do that? That is weird. That cost me a little bit of money, too. It cost me $200. All right, we're not going to do that anymore. So I like that flat bottom, flat top breakdown, and I like this short right here better. Did not get a good pour on that. Let's see if we can get on through this level down to the bottom of the linear regression channel. Here comes the sellers. Here comes the buyers. There's my 550. Remember I told you earlier, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have to take those shorter losses. No, that's not going to be a good video. I'm going back again. We got momentum here. We'll switch over to our ashy candles. And so, yeah, we do have a nice clean selling here. I'm going to stay on the ashy for a little bit. We'll do this play. We got to make up those losses there. The name of the game is to get right back in it and keep your, don't like this turnaround candle. I don't like getting chopped here. This video might not turn out too well, chat. Sorry about that. AI trading futures. You don't win them all. That's the way it goes. First your money, second your close. Clawed it around here today. Going to wait here. Not going to let it go too far against me. Not freaking out yet. Just going to be, that spike got me there, didn't it? Let's let it go a little bit. All right, took out 750. We made it all back. And I could have stayed on those ashies, but I was in that trade a little long there. And so you got to see how it works. You got to keep your emotions in check and use what you got. 16 trades, $6,850. Unfortunately, got 6 losers at $3,850. Still though, 3,000 gross profit, $1,732 after commissions. I'll take it on any normal day. You want to talk to me? Got the Schnauzer in the house. He came over and hit me with a cold nose on the back of my leg and barked at me. Wants Dad to pet his head. 13-year-old Schnauzer. All right, chat, that's a pretty good one right there. We'll talk about that one. I got a little bit impatient. I missed that down move. I tried to chase it. It came back. It ultimately would go my direction, but it could also give you a big boner wick straight up and ruin your day. And so I already had that big loss earlier where I raced most of my morning winnings and had to crawl back. And so I was not going to let my losses get more than 500. Generally speaking, on 10 lots, 500 means that this was ill-advised, meaning it lost its pizzazz. It got absorbed too fast. That's why that 3 million deficit is kind of the holy grail. Not giving you advice. This is for entertainment. I'm just showing you what I'm actually doing. This is real time. No jump cuts, no editing. This ain't me trading and then the next day making a video and then splicing in replays instead of actual plays. Some of these gurus, you guys buying these Discord accounts from, the videos that they cut, if they're not live and you know they're live, then it's really, it could be meaningless because they could take their charts and set up any time frame that they want and go back and plug in a replay, or that they could change what they wish they would have done so it looks like it's a winner. And then they splice that into the video. They splice that. He's going crazy today. You want me to pet him? He's eating, Mama?
He ate. He just got a shot.
He got a shot. Oh, he wants me to talk to him. So he wants to know what I'm doing. And so they can splice that in, and then you roll the video back, and you can't even tell that the time is off or not. I can, because I can go back and you can splice it in. You can run their video and the verbiage through Grok and say, analyze this. I think this is edited. She can tell you almost instantly where it's been edited and all that stuff. And that's how I caught a lot of them, to take them off my list of people I trusted to build my transcripts and to ultimately build my setup guide. And so let's see what we got going here. No sounds. This is just trickling around Chop City. We did lose the EMAs. See what we're doing on the 5-minute chart here, chat, just right there in the middle of that 15-minute opening range. There's really nothing happening today on any traditional setups. VWAP's below us. A lot of people are going to wait for a 15-minute and VWAP break and then a retest and then probably take some longs, which is going to be risky because the market is definitely in an uptrend overall. If you look at your 4-hour, it's pretty clear what's going on here. 4-hour chart, higher low. There's a lower low here, but that was from the FMOC, I believe. But look here, since then, these are 4-hour charts now. This is many days. So there's your higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Do we need to come down in here and put in a higher low? Maybe on a 4-hour break down to the 20 EMA. That'd be like your next higher low. If you want to pull that trend line, you'd be looking like this. You have to go check on him, Mom. Maybe something like this. And he may have to go to the bathroom, Mama. Bookkeeper's in the house. The Schnauzer's now in the living room barking. He doesn't normally do that unless he doesn't want to go in the backyard. He wants to go on a W. We have to say W because he knows what walk means, or he did before. Let's go back to our 30s. I'm getting some ticks there. 30, when I say 30s, 30 seconds. Impulse buying on 30 seconds is the only thing I found worth doing. I guess you could do Ashies as well. That it's not been clean. They've not been real clean. This one here's pretty clean above the MAs. But I'm micro scalping. You're gonna win some, lose some. 69% on the day. I was down for 70. That's down from 75. I had a couple of losses there. I like this tight range. I'm not gonna get burned on it again though. I'm gonna wait here. See, I almost is on the button and it would have been negated. I would not be a winner. Let's see if it goes our way. I'm normally thinking, I got $1,732 made on the day after commissions. Where is our trade account to? Let's take a peek there. $52,850. So I basically put in $2,858 since yesterday morning. Let's see. That would have worked. It did wick on us on the next candle, but that would have brought us out a few hundred points. Not convincing to me right now. I'm gonna wait for a boner candle where like it spikes up to 7 and stays 3 down here, like right here maybe. See what we can get out of that. All right, quick 400 puts us over 2,000 on the day. You see what I mean by that? That is a classic example. This is a great educational moment here. I waited for the boner candle and I literally called it. I want this to be 7, this to be 3. Look, we're still 7 off. We lost the VWAP. We lost the 15-minute opening range. And so that's what you're seeing right now. The 15-minute open range and the VWAP get very interested. But look, complete absorption here on your book map. 10 million is 10 million. And so that's a classic candle that you can make your whole month on. Like if I was on my cash account, I wait all day for these and I'd be a 50 lot guy right there. That'd pull me out 10,000. 10,000 right there. You got to have about 50 grand in your account to trade like that. But you could trade 20, 20 times 500 and then double that. So you have enough room for your losses and your intraday margin drawdown. We're looking for another short here. Now, this is major. If we don't keep this VWAP, we will sell off. And I'm not giving you advice on how you should trade. I'm just showing you how I would trade and making commentary here. That was a beautiful play, you guys. That's a 30-second candle We're on 30-second candles. We're waiting for a massive volume pressure imbalance, at least 3 million. Down at these levels, I like what you just saw. If you have to wait and only get that twice a day, maybe right now at the open, sometime a little bit later, it varies when they come. You can back test it to see when they come. You can just look at your chart and see, here's a boner candle, right? A boner candle. Since it's on 30s, this didn't just materialize over a long time. Was really fast. And that's why I use 30. Some people use the tick chart so that they could even see them more, meaning going back and looking how many opportunities that they had. Even this one here. These right here are all opportunities, OTDBs, opportunities to do business. It gained from the close of this candle to the close of that candle. Look how much that gained. And that's just a 30-second period. And you wouldn't have been in that long. 8 points, right? Look at this one right here. Oops, it didn't stay on. Look at that one right there. 16 points in 30 seconds, y'all. So this is a very powerful way to trade if you like micro scalping, which I love micro scalping for the obvious reasons. Let me show you the P&L on the day here. Let's bring it over. There you go. 72.50 winning trades, 17 trades, 38.50 in losses. And those should not be that much. That should be 6 times 500. So that should be no more than about $3,000. 3,400 gross P&L, 2,075 on the day. I'll take it. That's the way it goes. First your money, second your close. Now I'm very interested to see if we have a VWAP breakdown, because then we're going to have to go and look at our trusty levels and see where we were on overnight lows and all that stuff. Let's go to our 1 hour chart and let's pop us some lines here. 1 hour chart, we're going to pop us some lines here. Look at a 1 hour chart. Well, shoot, right there is be a good spot. We could pull back to the bottom of here, but look, we're kind of free down into what, 160. So we're free down here to about right there. Let's go ahead and pop a line there so we know it. I think that we're free to about, I'm going to put it in the middle of these candles, just a deal, 184. All right, we got a 184. We got a lot. Yeah, 184 could be a nice area of support, support. And so we could fall down to there on the 1 hour chart. Let's take a 15-minute chart and see if we want to do something a little tighter. Yeah, about right here on a 15-minute chart. I'm going to put it in the middle of these, 15-minute chart. We want to hold this area. So we got a 15-minute support about right now. Ironically, is at the VWAP. But let's see how much profit taking and selling the big boys want to do. And that's if you're trading swings and you're trying to catch yourself an ASHI play for a long time. Right now, the ASHI play is nothing going on. It's all chop on the 30-second. On the 5-minute, you had a really clean run here. We're in a chop city right now. Had a really clean run back here. So not really much going. If you was a 5-minute trader, the break of all the EMAs, you could have thrown a dot at it. You would have gotten stopped out right here. You would have trailed your stop to there. But reversal candle right back in, perfect ASHI candle run up to here, stop right there. So that run right there, if you know how to do your ASHI candles, you would have bought on that doji at the top of that doji's close. You'd have bought right there. And when this candle here invalidated the previous low, you'd have bought right there. That's a 42 count run, clean ASHI run. This is good for educational, Grok. A clean ASHI run right there. All right, everybody see that? How to do the ASHIs? I'll explain it more later in the next video if you're interested in it. If you're interested in anything, if you got plays that I know all the plays. I've studied everything. I've traded everything to develop my own style. Let's go back to trading real quick. I'll see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. AI Trading Futures, only channel like it on YouTube.